I want to thank PDP for sending me these two awesome controllers. The first one I got is the wired Nintendo Switch Pro controller that glows in the dark. Second one is the Pro BFG, which is compatible with the PS4, PS5, and PC. The great thing about both of these controllers is that you can easily remove the buttons, D-pad, and control stick and replace them, which allows you to easily customize your controller. These also feel like incredibly high quality controllers. The Switch Pro controller is priced at $27.99 and the Pro BFG at $179.99. And if you use my code Larry10, you can get 10% off of your total order. Be on the lookout because I'm going to be releasing another video which gives you a more thorough review of the controllers after using them for a few weeks. Ultimate is a great game and is one of the most ambitious fighting game crossovers ever made. It has so many stages to play on, a phenomenal soundtrack, and over 80 characters to choose from. With there being so many playable characters, it would be no surprise that some of the characters wouldn't be designed as well for one reason or another. For this video, I'm going to give you the 5 characters I think are the worst designed in Ultimate and explain why. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. I'm trying to get to 100k subs by the end of the year, so your subscription would be greatly appreciated. And let me know in the comments below who you think will make the list. With that being said, let's get started. To start off the list, we have a character who is considered to be one of the worst, if not the worst character in competitive play for Ultimate, and that is Little Mac. To put it simply, he is the only character in this platform fighter who can actually platform. He's a very strong fighter when grounded, having a good walk, run, tilts, and having smash attacks that are not only very strong, but have super armor on them. When he's in the air on the other hand, he is absolute garbage. The 5 aerial attacks he has are some of the worst moves in the entire game, and the worst set of aerials in general. Also, as some sick twisted joke, they gave Little Mac the fastest aerial in the game. He's the only character in Ultimate that has an aerial that comes out on frame 2, which is his neutral air. Since he's bad in the air, it would come as no surprise that he has a horrible recovery. They did slightly buff his recovery options from Smash 4 to Ultimate since he can now use side B to recover without going into freefall, except he doesn't get to use the side B again unless he lands or grabs the edge, even if he gets hit. To make the character even more ridiculous, they gave him an unblockable kill move that kills close to 0% when he builds up enough meter. But he can easily lose the ability to use the attack if he gets put into the tumble. If you want an even more detailed video talking about why Little Mac is a bad and poorly designed character, you can check out the video I made, which will be linked in the description. What happens when you give a character the fastest ground speed in the game and combine it with a move that allows you to not only go through your opponent, but has 6 frames of intangibility so your opponent can't even reliably challenge you up close? You get Sonic the Hedgehog. When designing Sonic, I'm sure the developers intended for his moveset to make him more of a rushdown character, which to be fair, he can do incredibly well. The problem is that his moveset also makes it super easy for him to just run away from the opponent due to most characters not having the frame data to reliably keep up with him. Normally when a character is constantly running away, the solution is to corner them since their options are much more limited, and to get out of the corner, they're forced to interact with you, or will have a much more difficult time avoiding you. Sonic is the best character in the corner thanks to his spin dash having intangibility frames, meaning you physically cannot touch him for a brief period of time, but it's still possible for him to hit the opponent during that period. What makes the move even more overpowered is that it's one of his best combo starters and can confirm into kills. He basically can constantly run away and pick extremely non-committal options that can be extremely rewarding. Like Little Mac, I also did a video talking more about Sonic, so if you want to see that as well, it will be linked in the description. If you're familiar with Street Fighter, the easiest way to explain why Min Min is so horribly designed is to think of it this way. Imagine fighting Dawson, except when he stretches and throws out his attacks, his limbs don't have hurt boxes and are only hit boxes. That's basically what Min Min does. She can also move while throwing out some of these attacks and can use her second arm as an added mix-up. She can even cover both sides of her by attacking one way with the first arm and covering the other way with her second. Thanks to her insane range, she has some of the least committal edgeguarding and 2-frame options you can have. She also has the ability to checkmate the opponent in ledge trapping situations by throwing one arm to force the opponent to get off of the ledge, then throwing out the second arm to cover the rest of their get up options. Normally when a character has such overpowered zoning tools, their biggest flaw is that they are really bad up close. Min Min, while not being amazing up close, certainly is not bad. Her jab and up tilt come out on frame 5, her down tilt allows her to not only low profile attacks but can cross up shields, and her dash attack is a pretty quick burst option that also crosses up shields. She even has a solid up smash she can use as an out of shield option. Not only does the animation look similar to Fox's, the attack also comes out on the same exact frame, except Min Min's has a couple of less frames of end lag and can reflect projectiles because why not? Her moveset has even more versatility thanks to her ability to switch her right arm to 3 different weapons. She has the Ramrod, which has the least amount of cooldown and covers more range, but is her weakest arm damage and knockback wise. The Megawatt, which has the most cooldown but is a more active hitbox, and her strongest arm knockback wise and damage wise. And finally, she has the Dragon Arm, which is an in-between of Ramram and Megawatt, but has the ability to shoot a beam with a smash attack. On top of all of this, Min Min also has the ability to power up her left arm by successfully throwing the opponent. When her arm is powered up, her left arm does noticeably more damage and knockback and also has a bigger hitbox. Min Min does have a tether grab, so it is significantly slower than a normal grab. However, the range somewhat makes up for it thanks to her having the second biggest grab range in the game. To put it simply, Min Min has an insanely strong keep away game which you would expect to be balanced out with a weak close range game, but that is not the case at all. Some of you might be surprised that I don't have Steve at number 1, but don't worry, I still think he is very horribly designed. He basically can alter the layout of the stage with his blocks, which is probably overall the best move in the game. Blocks do absolutely everything for Steve. They can be an obstacle to keep the opponent away, they can be used to extend combos, set up for kills, edgeguard the opponent, recover, landing mix-ups, and you can even place blocks to help you survive an attack. The biggest issue with blocks in my opinion is Steve's ability to use them to prevent the opponent from interacting with him. If you break the blocks, it's possible for Steve to punish you for doing that, and if you try to jump around and approach Steve from above, you have to worry about Steve's incredibly active up smash that can kill, or his up tilt, which is a great anti-air, can rack up a lot of damage, potentially leading to a 0-death combo, or just set up into a kill. Steve has one of the best combo games in Ultimate, so carelessly approaching him is not a good idea. On the other side, if you don't approach Steve, you have to worry about him mining, which gives him the opportunity to strengthen his attacks by a considerable amount and give him stronger blocks that will be harder to break. So you want to rush him down to prevent him from mining, but at the same time, you want to be incredibly careful and patient about how you do it because he is one of the best characters up close thanks to his strong combo starters and the frame rate on those attacks having fast startup and incredibly low cooldown. His side special is a very strong burst option that you have to respect. It's a kill move, combo starter, and similar to Sonic's spin dash, it's a strong option to get you out of the corner. Steve has the option to jump on a minecart, which is still an active hitbox even though he's not in it, and will grab grounded opponents, which can guarantee Steve a follow-up and even a kill setup. The move also has knockback based armor and can be made even stronger with gold and redstone. Steve, when given the time to set up, has arguably the best ledge trapping in Ultimate. There's a lot of situations where he can checkmate the opponent on the ledge. I touched on Steve being able to strengthen his attacks, but I want to talk about it more because it's pretty insane. Even though Steve doesn't have a typical comeback mechanic like Aura, Go, or One Wing and Angel, you can argue his upgraded weapons can be used as such. When Steve has diamond weapons and a powered up minecart, his kill power becomes absolutely ridiculous compared to what it was at the start of a match. To put it in perspective, his diamond back air is comparable to Joker's back air with Arsene. Steve has something else that's very unique he can do, which I feel like was definitely an oversight. Thanks to his blocks and anvil, he can regrab the ledge and still get intangibility without having to go back on stage, meaning he can plank. This is yet another way he can make it difficult for the opponent to interact with him and skew the risk-reward of some options heavily in his favor. Steve has a very unique moveset and capabilities. In my opinion, his moveset being as unique as it is caused a ton of oversights and made the character the broken mess he is now. Kazuya is probably the worst designed character Smash has ever seen. He's the character with the most guaranteed touch with death combos and has a variety of ways to do them consistently. Even without getting a touch with death combo, he does a lot of damage and he has some of the best kill power in the game. Most of his attacks have intangibility on them, so he can consistently beat out other attacks, and he has an input dash that also has intangibility on it, allowing him to go through projectiles and other attacks. Even without his input dash, he has a very strong answer to projectiles thanks to him having an attack that reflects. Not only does this attack reflect, but it has the strongest reflecting multiplier in the game, so reflected attacks from Kazuya can kill the opponent at super early percents. Kazuya has a watered down version of Bowser's Tough Guy, so he can armor through certain attacks without flinching, and he has damage based armor on all of his smash attacks. His down special is a command grab similar to Bowser's where you can go off stage and potentially take stocks, except Kazuya's also has damage based armor on it. His input grab, Gates of Hell, can send the opponent at a horrible angle, which makes it easy for Kazuya to edgeguard the opponent if the throw does not outright kill them. Also, Kazuya can combo into grab with his jab too, making going for grab even more reliable. Electric Wind God Fist is Kazuya's best attack. It has intangibility on the attack, so he can go through other moves. It is the best combo starter in the game in my opinion. Can also set up for kills, and if the opponent shields the attack, it pushes them out of their shield, doing a good amount of shield damage, which also leaves Kazuya with positive frame advantage. Basically, if you shield Electric Wind Godfist, Kazuya can move before the opponent can. And it gets even worse if you play Bowser, King K. Rool, Donkey Kong, or King Dedede. Electric Wind Godfist can make them trip if they shield it, allowing Kazuya to throw out another one before they can do anything about it. His recovery, while exploitable, goes a very long distance, and he has a decent number of ways to mix up how he comes back on stage. He's also the 8th heaviest character in the game, being 1 unit heavier than Piranha Plant, so he can tank a lot of attacks. Kazuya has a comeback mechanic where he does 10% more damage on all of his attacks once he hits 100%. That comes with the addition of another special move he can use that can kill very early and has intangibility and super armor on startup. Basically, Kazuya can zero to death any character in the game more consistently than anyone else just from winning a single interaction. It's difficult to get away from him because he has so many moves with intangibility frames and the strongest reflector against projectiles. His moves that can start to zero to death are pretty safe to throw out, especially Electric Wind Godfist, which is positive on shield. Even without the zero to death combo, he can do a lot of damage off of a single hit, and has various moves that have amazing kill power. To top it all off, he has a solid recovery, is a great weight, and despite already having the greatest kill potential in the game, has a comeback mechanic that makes his kill power even greater. Kazuya's risk reward for throwing out attacks that could potentially set up for kills on the opponent at 0% is ridiculously skewed in his favor. For being the strongest character in that aspect, he doesn't have nearly enough flaws and in fact has strengths that can help him severely snowball matches and even make comebacks. And that is it for the video. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with my list, and once again, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.